So this pipe came out of here sideways because it was like that, crooked, and I don't think I had my compressor housing oriented tipped that way far enough, and that was my problem. So I had to take this adapter because it messed up the bore in it. Took it into D at S&G, that rhymes, and he cut a sleeve and put in it, which was awesome. He does fantastico work. So I've got this V-band clamp loose, but I need to go get a screwdriver, loosen these rubber clamps, and then I got to move that housing down just a little bit so that that'll fit straight. Don't know why I didn't do that when I put it on. That was a mistake. That was a big mistake, Jeffrey. So let us do that. And stuff. I'm sure things to stick after it's been hot clamped. So, I don't know how much I can loosen this to get this turned, but it may be a bunch. It may be a lot. You know? It could be a lot. Pass. On, there we go. There we go. Now she's coming loose. There. Now she's loose. So, yeah, bingo. Now we're moving. Look at that. Right. Look at that. That's where we need to be. Is like this. I think I'm gonna go a little bit more. I think that's about it right there. There we go. All right, so pretty straight there, pretty straight in that. I think that's gonna work. And I also had a clampy deal like this on this. I think it was down here. Like that, so that can't come out and move. You almost need one there too, a couple of them, just to hold the pipe straight and make sure it doesn't push out. I've never seen it do this before until I put the switchblade on, but that sucker puts out some air. So what it did is it just kind of cocked it, but I think with it straight now it can't do that. Even if that went all the way in, it's still it can't move it. Usually what I do with these normally is I put silicone in here just as a safety. I didn't do it this time. Mostly because I have new hard nose panels, and I updated it to the 3 bolt hole style, and I put a big stiffener plate on it, and then I got those bolt holes back there re-drilled and set up so they work. See, because the problem is with these hard noses weren't very thick material, and I think these are actually quite a bit thicker. I had them build them a little thicker than Cat did at the factory. But if you're getting whacked with a push cat or another scraper constantly, what it tends to do, I used to only have 2 bolts here, and then that angle was just welded straight to the panel, and it would rip that loose or break the bolts off, or the bolts would break back here, and then that whole hard nose would start moving. And once that hard nose starts moving, it's moving these O-rings and these pipes in and out of these adapters, and then it eats the O-ring up and eats the adapter up and dirts the motor, and then you're just done. So this is considerably thicker than the factory ones, way thicker. So that's one thing you have to keep an eyeball on with scrapers, especially if you got an air-to-air. And the C models were the only ones with air-to-air up until, I'm gonna guess, somewhere in the E models, when they went to electronic engines and they had to go to air-to-air to get the temperatures down, because the water style ones weren't big enough. A water style jacket a jacket aftercooler, jacket style, water style, is more efficient at removing heat. Unfortunately, you need a super large one, really large. So they went to air. I think this is something Garrett invented. They started using it on Mack trucks, and, well, actually Caterpillar first. And then on Mack, they developed what they called a tip turbine, which was a crude air-to-air. Anyway, that's the aftercooler, from there to there and that wide. It's as big as a radiator. Yeah, actually, this goes down in. It's quite thick. It's quite thick. Let's check our coolant. See how much went down the pan. I don't remember where it was. So we'll crack the pan and see if anything comes out. So now I gotta get this adapter on there. Happy days. I may have to bolt it up there to get it on. I don't know. Gonna be a bear getting it over them O-rings. Oh, come on, man. It wants to push him out. Hey, son of a gun. Come on, baby. Come on. Okay. Now, all right. Now I gotta clean my hands off good and clean off where the gasket goes on this coupler adapter, and I'll be siliconing that on. I always silicone those on because it's a lot of heat coming out that turbo, and it will cook those gaskets on, and you will play hell getting them off. So I kind of like to get them siliconed on. Silicone will pop off. Yeah, baby. So I got to get me a clean paper towel. Get that off of there. So, yeah, well, Set it there, hope it don't fall. Then clean that surface off good. Sweet. Sweet. Now, in here. Back up. Oh, man. That's something. Easy first one, second one. Oh, man. Oh, wait. Close it up. Then cover up the window. We don't fall off the stuff. Heat it up. Heat. Okay. That's up there. Wait for it. There we go. All right. Very good. Increase the hand to it. There. Okay. Sweet. Get your ass now. All right. All right. Okay, increase my hands. It just don't want to disappear here. You know, anything you spray on your skin, your body just absorbs it. It's not good practice at all. Don't do what I do what I say. Okay, one gasket. What'd that gasket cost? $6.53. Could have went to McDonald's, bought a mocha frappe for $5.18, and I thought that was a lot of money.
So I cracked the drain plug, no antifreeze. What do you hope it's the, don't you just hope it was the radiator, or I mean the air compressor? That's what it needed to be. Alright. Think that'll squirt today? Yeah. Yeah. Alright.
So I can put it on one side, not the other if I wanted. Whichever side I put it on is going to come off. That was I put it on both sides. How's that? Okay, now I gotta try not to get it all over my fingers. Coolest tool ever. The Tube Grip Valco 513-874-6550. To order, call 1-800-788-3865. Right there. I think Mike Weimer gave me that. This is the best damn gift ever, Mike. Best gift ever. Okay, so now you got to get it in there. Sweet. One. 2. 3. Right in. That's all. 4. So I got an interesting story for you. So you remember, it's been months ago, when I was working on the D9, and I showed some videos in the sky of all the contrails. Well, it's been clear as a bell today. Oh, looky there. So you see that contrail? You see how it's disappearing? Yep, that's a contrail. So I'm standing out on the front lawn there, and my brother-in-law and his son come by, and we're talking. And we got talking about the weather, something was going to storm or whatever, and I said, yeah, it's guaranteed to storm. I said, you see that jet right there? And his son said, yeah, what about it? I said, well, it's a chemtrail. They're spraying us. He said, Jeff, that's just a contrail. And I said, really? I said, look at how it's getting all weird and falling out, and it's not disappearing. And we sat there and we watched it, and damn, I wish I'd have had my camera on. All of a sudden it stopped dead. He goes about 2 more seconds and it comes on again, full blast, just huge. And he goes another couple seconds and then boom, it's gone, and he continues on his way. So I guess my question is to those people that said I was nuts. So do you think he just let off the gas and then it stopped and he coasted and then he stepped on the gas again and then he just coasted and he just shut the motors off and let it coast on into Salt Lake or Atlanta or wherever he was going, trying to save fuel, you know, kind of just let it coast and then turn it back on and then coast. You know, if there was anything in the world that made me realize what was going on, it was that. So don't tell me it was a contrail. Anyway, my brother-in-law and his son just went, huh, wow. And it was kind of like an aha moment for him. So what do you think? Do you think I'm a lunatic? Because there's a guy who he got a grant from it was either NASA or the National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, and they gave him a jet, and they didn't know, I don't think they knew what he was going to do, so he took this jet, and it was already set up, and it had intake filters and stuff to sample the atmospheric air. And so he got samples of what was in the air. He followed one of those contrails. Turns out everything that people have been saying is in the contrail was in it. He said there was strontium, barium, aluminum, and graphene. And they're trying to block out the sun to reflect the rays back into space. And if you go in on FlightAware, they don't show up on FlightAware. So all airplanes now have to have what's called ADSB. And basically what that is, it gives your position and your altitude and everything, where you're going, and it transmits that out so that other pilots with ADSB can see you, they know where you're at. It's like the old transponders used to have. They'd tell you squawk, blah, 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 and it constantly put out a signal to the air traffic controllers. Well, it takes the load off the air traffic controllers because now everybody knows where everybody's at, except for the military. And they don't have ADSB, and they do not broadcast their position. So, call me full of shit, but if I'd have had a video camera to show you, he let off the gas, and it quit, and then it came back, and then it just stopped, and he went on his way. Damnedest thing I ever saw. Damnedest thing. Anyway, they think they're going to save us. Save the planet. When all they're doing is poisoning everybody, even themselves and their own children. So, Jeff wins on that one. So now, I put this hold down deal here. I could probably go find another one and put one here. I don't think it's gonna now. Now that this is straight, I don't think it's gonna move. I don't think. Okay, so I went in town to my granddaughter's track meet, and apparently it started at 5, not 6. Mrs. Paydirt misunderstood. Anyway, got to see him, talked to him, took Challenger in. So I'm all clean. I'm not going back to work. Plus, it's bedtime. But I'm going to go in and work on a video, and I'm going to throw in some D9 footage for you. So if this doesn't get to you till tomorrow when you get home from work, I apologize, but I had better things to do. Can't blame me, can you? That's a good looking truck, isn't it? Man, that's a good looking truck. Anyway, son's going to bed here, so it's time for Paydirt to stay up till midnight editing a video for you. Hope you watch it. I don't get a lot of views anymore. Don't know why. If I piss somebody off or what? Watch it 3 times. Watch it 4. Come on. Come on. Alrighty. Let's see if the old Niner pops off this cool morning. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Amazing what glow plugs will do. Wheels rolling on. We